in the forest again, and I'll continue. This will be like part 4 from the book Stiff, The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers. And I want to use this video actually to discuss the topic of having a soul. So all human beings, we have a soul, but where is it? And Descartes thought it was in the pineal gland. A lot of people say it's in your heart. When you ask people, where's your soul? Then people do like, it's in my heart. But it's actually like this almond-shaped pineal gland at the back of your head. And I was just wondering, you know that I told you that Mengele, that German doctor that did all these experiments on the Jews, he kept the eyeballs of the people and brain. So if the soul would be in the heart, I think he would have kept the hearts of those people. I think, you know, this thing like you're winning souls of people. I think that is what you would collect. And the eyes are the mirror to your soul. So that's why he kept the eyes and the brain, because the pineal gland is in there. But it's just speculation, right? When I'm reading a book, I often just put the book down and then, you know, reflect on what I just read. And other books come up in my head and I start just thinking about it. So sometimes it can take a long time before I actually finish a book. So this one is taking its time. And then I was also thinking, you know, because some people, they are not sure about the existence of God. Well, if right now people do the research and they look at all those Satanists, they worship Satan, well, they believe in God. Otherwise, who are they fighting? So you can be assured that there's a God and that you have a soul as well. And then, of course, it is about cadavers. So one is it that you're dead? Because there's something like brain dead. So your body is still functioning, but your brain is not functioning anymore. But is the soul still there? Because brain dead, does that mean that the soul has left? And they have done an experiment where a dying person was on a scale. And at the moment that the person died, actually after your heart stops beating, your brain actually is still active for another 10 minutes. So actually it's 10 minutes after your heart stops beating, then you're dead. And there was a difference of weight from, you know, at the point of death, like 3/4 of an ounce. And they say that's the weight of the soul. That's where the soul has left the body. I thought that was kind of interesting as well. But so there is something like brain dead and your body is still functioning. And then they want to use these organs as a donor organ. And then somebody that gets your donor heart and it's, you know, it's put into another person, that person might experience some difference in character, or because in your heart, that's where your passion is and the love and music. And so this person that received this new heart, all of a sudden this old man that got the heart of a young man, he all of a sudden loved hard rock music. So I think there's some cellular memory in all of your cells. And when you replace one organ into someone else's body, then that memory goes with it. And that is what I believe. And then there was, so this beating heart cadaver. Yeah, this was the thing. Like, okay, so when they operate on the beating heart cadaver, they just take the organs out. And then, so sometimes people have this spiritual experience as if at that moment the soul goes out of the body. So I think it's still not really, because people are afraid to be an organ donor, because, you know, what if they start cutting in me and I'm not really dead? Sometimes people are afraid of that. And because it is brain dead, but your body, your heart is still pumping. And then it's hard for the family members also to understand, like, yeah, that family member actually has already died, but the heart is still beating and the body's still warm. I can imagine that is a very emotional, disturbing experience. And that was, it was in the book, was very funny actually. Well, funny. I don't know if you know the origin of the expression "saved by the bell," but in the old days when they were not sure when the person was actually dead, because they didn't have this stethoscope actually to listen to the heart, and some people had a really faint heartbeat, so they would have this waiting mortuary where they would put. Well, they would think that those were dead people. They would leave those people for maybe 48 hours and they would attach to the finger a bell. So there would be someone surveilling. So if they would hear the bell ring, then that meant that they thought that person was dead but was still alive. But that never occurred. Nobody ever rang the bell. But that's the saved by the bell expression. And there was something about chi. We are magneto-electrical beings. You know, that's why you want to, someone who has a heart attack or the heart stops beating, you give this electrical shock and then it's, it can restart again. The chi is also going with the electrical current of your body. Actually, what people say that the heart pumps the blood around in your body, but I think it's the other way around. It's the electrical current that makes the heart pump. But I do a lot of research, but that's what my gut feeling says. And then there was the guillotine, where they behead the people. That was supposed to be a very painless and quick death. But now they discovered that there are 5 seconds that the head falls in this basket and that the eyes can still open or the mouth can shut all of a sudden. So there is a conscience of dying at that time for the person in the guillotine. And that's a kind of a scary thing, because what they did is they actually took the head right after it was cut, and then they pumped new blood into the head. And then the eyes opened, and it couldn't speak, of course, because the larynx is gone. But there was a communication with the eyes, for sure. And the guy who did the experiment, he still had this trauma, because the head, this chopped head was looking at him. It's like, this is in this book. There are Mary Roach describes these things with a good doses of humor, and I like it the way she does it. There's also one interesting chapter about the science of crucifixion, and they would like to know, or that's why they did these tests, is how come that Jesus was hanging on the cross and that the flesh of his hands didn't rip, because like a 180, or I don't know how 180 pounds man hanging, of course, he was nailed on the cross, his hands and his feet, and then they did these experiments, like how come that the nail didn't rip the hands, and then it was most likely that it was actually nailed at the wrist, but he didn't go more into detail. But scientifically, if you hang someone at the hands, it will probably not hold because of the weight. Anyways, I hope you find this all interesting, and I know most people, I think, will know already that the soul exists, and that the treatment that you get for the C19 that ruptures the connection between you and your soul. And that's why people who took that those people seem to be more aggressive and angry than before that treatment. And I think that is exactly this connection between the person and the soul has been cut off. And I think that is exactly the purpose of that treatment, is to want you to take the religion out of your body almost. Scary, isn't it? But for the people who didn't take it, I think most of the people who follow me, be reassured that you have a soul and that you should stay in connection with it. So I wish you all a nice day. It's a nice sunny day. It is, somebody else like, it's not, it seems to be nice weather over here. Yeah, it actually is. It's like 9 degrees. But yeah, a lot of sun today. Wonderful. Sun, that's also, you know, the healing part in my journey is soaking up the sun. This is what we get for life. Nourish life. Okay, have a nice day.